Hello and welcome to this Warcraft replay. It's going to be the second game of this best of 3 series. The map is going to be on Secret Valley, so it's going to be a small map once again. Actually, I'm trying to remember what was the first one. I think it was Echo Isles. That's what it was. I actually had to do something after game 1, so I was not able to get straight into game 2, so I do apologize about that. I do remember what happened in game 1, however. I think it was just the map that I just forgot what it was. So anyway, Lucifer spawning in as the blue human player on the bottom left, and Rising Star Stowe spawning in as the red human player on the top right. So yeah, what I'm game 1, it was pretty standard play from both players, I think. I don't generally like seeing like undead start because it's so based on how well you do at the start. Like if you're too late showing up to when your opponent is like in the middle of creeping, then you can't actually like pick off any kills with a death coil. So yeah, I think that's generally what happened for Lucifer. He just fell behind with his hero. But of course, like, once tier 2 is completed, then undeads generally usually like catch back up for both the Death Knight and the Lich, so the second hero as well. But I think it was just, I don't know, it might have just been the comp. Or it just might have been that Though outnumbered his opponent. I think there was like multiple factors to take into this. So yeah, I think it was partially the comp, but I think it was primarily that Though had like a lot of gold available to use, and that's generally probably just one of the keys to victory for him. So yeah. But either way, Secret Valley is not one of those maps you usually see human players taking an expand, mainly because I mean, like, this area is, I guess, kind of easy to defend, but since it's so far away from your own base, it's almost as close to your opponent's base as it is to yours, then yeah, that's what makes it a little difficult to continue defending. But let's see how this will turn out. Though did clear out that double assassin camp, so was able to get himself going a little bit. Gloves of Haste is nearly, or has been picked up. Level 2 is nearly there, that's what I was going to say. Death Knight did pick up that null thanks to that death coil, but it looks like the Skeletons was able to give the Archmage the experience needed to get that level 2 anyway, so not like it matters entirely. And now the Acolyte is actually controlling that area, although we are like, why people actually like, focus on scattering out this place is because Night Elf players usually put buildings over here, but I'm not sure if it actually applies to human players. I mean, like Scout Farm maybe, but that's all I can think of. Ogre Magi camp is going to be cleared out in the face of Lucifer. This is actually going to be really either courageous for Though, or it might be rather reckless. Troll Berserker will be taken out, will be picked up by Lucifer's Death Knight. The item, however, was Cloak of Shadows, so it was the Archmage that picked up that item. Ring Protection +3 as well was gained for the Archmage. Lots of ghouls being pulled from Lucifer, and this is going to be one rather bloody skirmish right now. I mean, we usually don't see skirmishes this early from an undead matchup, but since it looks like Lucifer did go for mass ghouls instead of a graveyard, we will have a mass ghoul opening against mass footmen. Probably was my mistake for not checking out whether or not Lucifer went for that graveyard or not. I think it was just, it's been a rather long time since last seeing the mass ghoul opening, so yeah. So mass ghouls, which results in really aggressive playstyle coming in from Lucifer. He is not able to get down that to that town hall, which is rather unfortunate. It probably will lead to the completion of it, so it looks like Thor is able to get his expand either way. Dust appearance has been picked up, probably to answer against that cloak shadows on the Archmage, and that looks like it's pretty much going to be it. No boots pick up just yet, although it could possibly be that the boots have not been is not available yet. Who knows? Lumber mill is about to be completed. Graveyard is also about to be completed, so yep. Not sure if they'll actually went for masonry upgrades last time, but it could maybe be useful against those ghouls. Just, I don't know, maybe just possibility. Masonry upgrade is not necessarily that expensive in resources anyway, but Tho can place them for something else. No tier 2. Instead, he's gonna bring in a couple of militia once again. And I don't generally know why, but maybe it was just 2. Sorry about that. Maybe it was just 2, just counteract this attack, so it partially like forced Lucifer to go for a TP back. Archmage has actually been surrounded. Did actually wait for that cloak of shadow meld until he realized, wait a minute, dusted appearance on me, took a lot of damage, forced to go back. So we only had one acolyte being killed off. I'm not sure if that is necessarily like indicative of the undead player going for a cancellation on Black Citadel, so it does not look like that's gonna happen. Lich is on its way, statues are being queued up, and tier 3 is still being progressed, so one acolyte does not mean that you have to go for a cancellation. I think Lucifer is going to just live with it. Flute of Accuracy has been picked up from this dragon camp, so actually a pretty worthwhile item to have, especially for the human player. So Tho will be able to benefit from that from the mid to the entirety of late game, unless you're gonna go tier 3 with knights and griffins. Obviously the griffins will benefit, but the knights won't. But if Tho goes for the standard tier 2 like army composition with double sanctums and possibly workshop units, then Flute of Accuracy will be a pretty good aura item. Very careful with the Archmage. Could have easily been picked off by the double Nova Coil combo, but it does not look like that's going to happen. Lucifer will be able to successfully defend his base. He does have the Greater Healing Potion as well as the Dust Appearance, so was able to pick that up from this merchant, and of course the dust was still from his first purchase anyway. It looks like the Invisibility Potion has been picked up and used once again. We did see this in game 1. I'm not sure if it's really like an item worth using, because sure it could be used for scouting, but I think a footman could easily be used as a substitute, but who knows. I mean, the second stage of this Archmage scouting is that he will just join up with this footman force and continue harassing. Now tier 3 has been completed, so this will show though that Lucifer did not go for that early cancellation as he was hoping for. Instead, he's still gonna go for those acolytes anyway, so yeah, just try to target that economy. The Archmage will be shoot off. A low hit point ghoul is actually trying to welcome that Archmage, but of course the Archmage does not like that welcome. The ghoul actually running a very fast speed. It did look like it was a frenzy ghoul, but I am actually mistaken on that part. That is just a normal ghoul. Pretty fast ghoul though. Wow. Maybe it's just because he does have the lumber he's carrying lumber. I think I just did not get used to that animation, maybe. Who knows? That was pretty fast though. Archmage still lingering around. He took quite a bit of damage in the previous fight, and wow, look at that. There's just so many towers. There's even farms over here to try and create a wall against those ghouls. Blacksmith has been completed, so +1 upgrades is on its way. Tier 3 looks like it's going to be the same unit comp coming in from Tho. He is going to have a Mountain King once again and triple Griffin Aviaries. Will Lucifer expect this? I don't think he does. I mean, he is going to transition into Crypt Fiends, however, since he is at this stage of the game with Tier 3, and maybe even go for more destroyers, but right now his bulk of his army is just going to be ghouls. He does have 3 destroyers in the air though, so he's going to be focusing more on statues and destroyers over ghouls or Crypt Fiends. Gargoyles might be the better choice, but he did try to go for that last game and was not able to succeed. Though just going to try and deal as much damage as possible. Meanwhile his main expand is being attacked by Lucifer. It will force a TP, but it does not look like Tho has much to defend with. Now that those towers are falling very, very quickly, the Archmage's life is kind of in danger. And of course Elemental was up, so the destroyers just viewed that as free mana. This is going to be rather difficult for Tho to keep alive here. It looks like a second TP scroll will be used to try and save all these peasants. There we go, probably one of the most effective scrolls of healing ever, seeing as so many low hit point peasants anyway. We do have a couple of Dragonhawk Riders. We're gonna have another one being queued up right now. Are we gonna go for Griffins, I wonder? Lucifer actually... Is that really the rest of his army? I do not believe that. But apparently it is. He only has 1 destroyer in the air, so will probably be destroyed by those Dragonhawk Riders, seeing as just extra damage taken from piercing, and I mean those Dragonhawks are piercing damage anyway, so yeah. And of course they don't take extra damage from magics. Oh, actually they do. I think the piercing percentage is more than the magic though, so it's rather weird, I don't know, but there's just so many Dragonhawk Riders right now versus 1 destroyer. And of course Dragonhawk Riders are upgraded as well. We did have the Ogre Lord being cleared out. The item will be a Django of Endurance, so Endurance Aura is available for the human army, and this Red Drake could possibly be taken down. We might even have a rather delicious item being dropped from this Drake. The shackles will be used to try and just suppress that dragon. Boots of Quel'Thalas +6 will be the item of dropping over there, so +6 agility, not necessarily the best stat for a human player, seeing as like all of the humans heroes are either intelligence or strength, and only agility heroes is probably from the tavern, which is barely used anyway. We did have the Hood of the Cunning being picked up from the bottom Ogre Lord camp, so yeah, that's a thing. We have 3 Griffins, 4 Dragonhawk Riders for Tho, a couple of them as well, and he's actually going to bring in a couple of militia as well. This might be a rather all-in-ish type of move here, and this might indicate this could be Tho's last fight. If not, then I am obviously mistaken. This could just be a rather heavy tower offense, but nope, he's gonna move his militia back and try and rehabilitate that gold mine once again. we did have a couple of Murlocs being victims of those Griffins. 71 versus 48, so there's a clear disadvantage in terms of supply right now, so Lucifer needs to be careful on engaging just straight up, mainly because he is down in both supply as well as upgrades, so he needs to be careful there. And I think kind of unit composition, ghouls, there's no ghouls, there is Script Fiends, so they will at least deal with those air units, but those air units can very much deal with those units as well. Alright, is Lucifer actually going to consider, like, he's not considering on going over upkeep just yet, but he should realize that if he does fight soon, then he will lose because of that clear disadvantage. Paladin is coming out and does not look like Tho wants to wait. He wants to go for a fight right now. They would go with a Stormbolt, and quickly one Griffin will be taken down. Despite the webs, there's not much focus fire. They will go with the focus fire right now. Able to take down one Dragonhawk Rider, taking down a second one thanks to the Frost Nova, but the Griffins are not being dealt with. The Dragonhawks are being killed off, but the Griffins are not being focused down at all. Holy Light is going to try and keep these units alive. The Paladin is only level 1, however, so it's going to be rather difficult. Paladin will be taken down. Level 5 will be gained for the Death Knight. He will be able to consume that greater healing potion. Tho needs to run away. With his Mountain King, he needs to be careful over there. Invulnerability potion will be able to be used, and we might even have a Stormbolt coming out on that Death Knight. Will he? Who knows? There we go with the Stormbolt, and the Death Knight will be killed. It looks like the Mountain King will be able to run away safely, and a big loss right there. Death Knight is going to come back, but I think Tho has the, I guess, option of able to just heal up that Mountain King, or I guess not. Oh, he's going to try and bum rush. He's going to try and bum rush that Mountain King, but it does not look like that's going to happen. Paladin was able to be fully revived back thanks to the Tavern. Level 4 has been gained. He will gain a little bit more health. Mountain King is going to keep alive a little more longer, or just a little longer. Death Coil was able to be landed on, and the Destroyers look like they will be able to finish off the Mountain King, but I think Lucifer kind of overextended a little bit. He will be losing a couple of his own Destroyers, and looks like the Griffins have set their eyes on the Death Knight. We actually see a big long distance mining coming in from Tho. He does not care about the lumber actually. He has 800 lumber currently stocked up, and I mean he's already got 5 in the gold mine. He's just going to be long distance mining, although he could probably go for all these peasants for speed building. He's not going to go for that. We do have the clouds being casted on these turrets. It will prevent these the Black Citadel and the Spirit Towers from fighting back. Lucifer is in a bad situation right now. His acolytes are being killed off. His Altar of Darkness, which is trying to revive the Lich, is going to be destroyed momentarily, and the Death Knight, I have no idea where he is. There he is, over there. He's trying to push away against that Paladin, but nope, Altar of Darkness has been destroyed. GG from Lucifer, and that is going to be game 2 and the first of this quarterfinals. So yeah, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. I have no idea what the next series is. I think actually I don't know what I think. I forgot what the next series was, so yeah, just stay tuned for that. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.